start zone.
Hey y'all, now I'm gonna do the best of my abilities to ground yourself to this moment, because moments in life pass by, and like I said, this is a very powerful moment for y'all. Step into the HYROX arena. When we explore our edges as men, we become more alive. As men, we have a lot of aggression built. We get a lot of force inside of us, and today we get to channel that energy in a very positive way. Go! Go! Go!
Alright, so I'm here in the beautiful Austin, Texas. I have this weekend where I get to step into this new chapter of my life, which is really exciting. It's being an MC for HYROX. Speaking and being in front of people, it's such a crazy journey for myself when I look back. And I remember the kid in college that 2 different times distinctly, I will never forget how my body felt, where I just literally locked up and couldn't talk, and I had to deal with that embarrassment and shame that I get to carry with me, because the body keeps a score. And when I moved to Austin, Texas, and everywhere there was even little smaller events at that time when people had to share at the beginning of class their name, I'd get so nervous even talking in front of 5 or 8 people. And to now be in a position where I can talk in front of anybody, and no matter the size, is how I feel now. And it's something that at first it was just like a call within me. I know I wanted to speak, I wanted to be in that energy. And I didn't know that it would turn into something I could do as a profession. I was focused on building my coaching business and pushing away this rock star energy is what I call it. When I get to speak in front of people, I feel like a freaking rock star. It feels so good. It charges me up, and I love being able to impact people's life and just a little bit of sharing my energy that I have built for myself and I want to share with the world. It's time to come up with my HYROX hype speech. Where literally tomorrow, I'm flying out for tomorrow. Friday, I'll be at a start line and be in front of thousands of athletes throughout the 3 days in Toronto. And I am in a position where I have a lot of control of, I'm gonna say a lot of control, but I have an ability for them to drop in and start their race off on a very positive note. And I love that opportunity. And right now I have a little bit of nerves in me, only because I haven't taken the time to come up with what I want to say intentionally. I'm doing it right now, and I'm gonna do a little bit of that in front of you. Naturally, the more I do it, the more I'm gonna be able to flow. But at first, I just need to get my general foundation. So my best friend Danielle has been doing MC for the last 4 years, and I've gotten to see hers.
Let's exhale the bullshit, let it go.
I want to be able to embody my modern warrior brand, my ethos, who I am as a man, and what's important to me, and be able to allow that to pour out. I use ChatGPT to help us get my ideas out of my head, and basically you'll see what I do, but it gives me a review thing that I can sit with, and then from there can just keep flowing back and forth. I have someone there with me to flow with. So this weekend I'm going to be at the start line MC. I have about 1 minute and 45 to 2 minutes to speak to the athletes before they send it off for their HYROX race. And I want to be able to embody the modern warrior brand while being attuned to the environment. And I definitely want to be able to cover a few bases in regards to them breathing, really understanding this moment, this opportunity that we have, and really finding a way to ground them to this very specific moment to where they're able to just slow everything down and focus on breathing. And then the breathing and the language I want to use while they're breathing and focusing on their breath is going to be embodiment of the modern warrior brand, and that we all have this warrior inside of us that goes dormant. I don't want to use the word dormant, suppressed, and modern society type language for this environment specifically, and maybe I will, but I definitely want to be able to show them that they have everything they need and that they are that now it's time to unleash the warrior from within. And I want this to build up, and this is where I need the most support. I haven't figured out how I wanted this to roll into, because at the end I want to potentially do where I use the Go Wild Puma slogan. It's a situation where I hype them up, I get the build and I get their buy-in, and then I'm like, go. When I say go, you say wild, go. And the crowds and they say wild. I want to be able to end with that and then bring it in type energy, and then they'll have 2 minutes before they go, they watch this video, they send it off. So from there, I don't want you to write anything for me. I just want you to lay out some language I could potentially use that represents me, represents this environment, the HYROX arena, and using the context that I'm providing. So from there, it's gonna list out things. I'm not gonna show you the rest of this process because I'm gonna go back and forth, and then I'll get like a rough draft, and then I'll just keep flowing from there and let it really sit with my body and feel into it. Because again, if I just have this specific structure and I'm just like, I gotta say this, and I'm just in my head too much, it just like, you're not gonna be able to be present and you're not going to be able to flow as natural as it could be.
We are day 1 of 3 of HYROX Toronto. Got in yesterday and didn't record anything. It's one of those days where I just didn't feel good, and that's just like the ebbs and flow of life. Sometimes you just energetically, it feels forced, and that's something that over time I've been in tune with. There's things in my mind I was like, oh, I want to document this. Oh, I need to maximize this experience. But if it's forced, I'm not in a lane where I'm trying to force things anymore in life. I want ease and friction. There's times where you need to push and work through discomfort, but yesterday was not the time. I'm in my hotel room right now. I just did a little bit of breath work. Definitely have some nerves, but excited to step into this new chapter of my life as a HYROX MC. It's a responsibility. It's a role that I want to take ownership of. I want to, because at the end of the day, one of my purposes here in life is just to make people feel and understand the power that they have inside of them. And as a HYROX MC, sending them off at the start line to hype them up, that is literally what I'm going to do today. So it's cool to step into a role that's going to pay me for that, but allow me to impact more people's lives in a positive way. So stay tuned.
I'm walking to the HYROX arena. Danielle right now is at the start line emceeing. She's going to do an 8 to 10 a.m. shift. She pretty much said to me, look, I'll go. I already have been doing this all day before, so you just tell me how much you want to do. And I appreciate that about her. I'm not gonna lie, there's a little nerves working up doing this for the first time, and nerves are a sign that you care, and I do care, and I do take a big responsibility of how I impact people's lives, and even if it's just 2 minutes of talking, I'm impacting people's lives. So that's something I take full responsibility over and want to own and do the best of my ability. And then the other side of this is just like, in the art of expression, that's what art is to me. It's expressing facets of yourself, and how I came up with what I wanted to say. That is art, that is expression. And it could land, it could completely blow up. They could be like, yo, what the fuck is this guy even saying? That's not gonna happen, but the mind likes to play tricks. And at the end of the day, what I have in my head I'm gonna say, it's gonna get refined over time, most likely. You create this version of what you think how things are gonna roll, and then you give it to the people, and they give you feedback, they give you context, you can feel their energy. Did my first two hours of heat. My brain's not even fucking working already. Man, it was so good. One thing that I'm really grateful and excited for, the fact that I get to be an embodiment of the 2 brands that represent me, Modern Warrior and then my men's group, Men in the Arena. Specifically, I've only done men's heats. It's gonna be different when I do with the ladies. But to be able to just really tap into both those brands that embody me and get to share that with other men and get to feel their energy and light them up and tap into the men in the arena that I know they can be. So it was really cool to be able to create that for myself today. And again, the beauty of doing this stuff, my first one was okay. It was good. I covered the bases, but the more you get comfortable in that arena, that space, the more I'm able to really hold space and refine and be attuned and be present and get better. And that's the game of life. There's always room for growth. Doesn't mean I'm very proud of myself today and how I showed up. Doesn't mean that I didn't show up well, but it means that I can continue to get better, enhance that experience. So it was really cool to get the first 2-hour block. Now we're taking a little break. I just did 10 minutes of breath work. I'm about to get back in there. All right, we are still in the day 1. I've done 3 different shifts, essentially me and Danielle, who's the other start line MC. I've been doing about an hour to 40 minutes to 2 hours shifts and switching out. As I'm talking to you, my brain's a little tired. And what I've been doing is in my breaks coming out, the weather in Toronto is just so freaking money. And coming out here, got my headphones on, doing breath work, resonant frequency breathing. It helps downregulate my nervous system and actually recharge my nervous system. So doing my best to do that within my breaks, and so I can go back and show out. And it's been cool. Exposure therapy, what I talk about, the more that we can put ourselves in environments and in areas, places that scare us, the more that we get to have that key, that we get to open that door and we feel confident. And in this arena where I'm speaking to people and hyping them up and using this kind of high energy, there's a lot of adapting. I'm still finding my flow and rhythm, understanding how when I can feel and see people's energy. And I've spoken in front of other people before, and I like the challenge of how can I get connected to these motherfuckers and how can they just hear me, because I know the words I'm sharing is powerful if they're willing to listen and receive it. And that's not from a place of, yo, you better listen, this is the way, type energy. It's more of a place that I know that it's so easy for us to get out of our own locus of control and overthink things and overanalyze things. And if I can have any power in helping them not do that by reminding them that they have the power to accomplish in HYROX and staying in the moment and believing in themselves, I'm gonna do that to the best of my abilities. So with all that being said, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm refining, I'm resting. I got some new shades. Shout out Chrome, I think it's what it's called, the brand. This is good for inside the arena. I don't know if I'm supposed to be wearing it outside, but I am right now.
All right, day one coming to an end. Voice definitely took a hit, but I'm chilling. I'm gonna go back there tomorrow at 8 a.m. to start the day, and I really got nothing else to say. I could say more, but I'm gonna see you in the morning. Day two, HYROX Toronto. As you can tell, my voice not doing so hot. I'm hoping that it gets better. I don't know how it works. This is new for me. And now my nerves yesterday were doing this for the first time. Now my nerves is losing my voice and not being able to talk. But I'm doing the first 8 to 10 a.m. shift. Got men's open solo, a bunch of them. And I wanted to bring the juice. I might have came out a little too hot yesterday, and now my voice is having the repercussions of that, but we're gonna have fun. We're gonna figure it out. All right, I am coming back. Thankfully, the end of day two, I'm closing out 6 p.m., calling it a day, going back to the hotel to shower and just lay there. This is the first time I've been able to hop on the camera since this morning, and I was still doing hour to 2 hour shifts. But energy definitely hit a wall at 3 to 4 p.m. And when I started the day, as you heard, my voice was pretty gone. I was very thankful. I was nervous. I was thankful that my voice was able to carry throughout the rest of the day, and hoping tomorrow I can keep it going. Gonna recharge and come back at 8 a.m. tomorrow. It's been cool because day one, I was like, let me feel this out. Let me see how I can find my flow within all this, and not just be an MC, but also document, put up posts. And today I was on my breaks. Instead of recharging, I was editing reels and doing interviews. So that definitely had a weight on me. It's little moments in life where we get to recalibrate that can really stack. And I pushed that off today intentionally. I wanted to explore that edge and see what I could do. And now we're hitting a wall. So it was an amazing day either way. I had an amazing interview with my man Cole Learn.
My name's Cole Learn. I'm originally from Guelph, Ontario, and we are in at the Toronto HYROX. This is always a special race, and unfortunately for the last 2 years I haven't been able to race it. But we have 50 athletes competing here today, so it's really exciting seeing everybody compete for the first time. I had family here, friends, and it's one of the only Canada HYROXes so far. We have 2 more coming up in Vancouver and Ottawa, but so far this has been the only one, so it's a pretty big event for Canada.
That's sick, man. How does that feel to come out of Boston with the time that you got?
It's exciting. I deal with a lot of self-doubt. I always have. Whenever I show up to events, I just start to get nervous and I deal with the self-doubt and I don't feel like I belong. So putting up a time like that really just reinforced that I do belong in this sport and I can compete with the best of the best. So it's a pretty incredible feeling, and I plan to take these feelings into the next block of training. So
I love that, bro. I love that for you. Now, to the next weekend, here we are, and we made the decision to pull out of the pro race last night. And as we were talking before off camera, that choice for especially a lot of men is tough to decide, and not just like, oh, I'm committed to this, I got to see it through. First, listening to body and understand that today is not my day, because today as an athlete, we're going to have off days. I'd like you just to speak to that and that choice, and it's important to be considerate of that and be intentional with that choice. For
sure, man. I think especially as men, like you said, our ego gets involved. I knew I was going to have a lot of family members out there, a lot of gym community out there. Deep down, I knew my body wasn't ready to race, but I wanted to go out and see what I could do just so that they could watch me race. I made a hard choice halfway through to pull out. It's very hard for me to do. I don't like to not finish things, but I knew that I was not in a good place. My body was telling me to stop, and I had to look forward to my health for the next season. We have a lot of racing left to do. I have 3 races next month, and I had to make a difficult decision, but I feel like it was the right one, and I'm super happy that I made it.
One thing you shared, which I didn't know this about you, on your story last night about being homeless and seeing homeless people when you're leaving. I would love for you just to share as much as you of that as you want, and that experience, and how that experience has built the man that you are today.
So when I was in university, I was around 21 at the time. I got introduced to Oxycontin, and it became just a habitual thing that we would take just to play video games here and there. And then that obviously turned into something bigger. I continued to take the Oxycontin, and then I got into heroin. I was probably around 22 at the time. I moved out west to Edmonton and I started working out there, making lots of money, but was also into a lot of drugs and alcohol, partying. And one thing led to the next. And within a couple months of living out there, I was homeless. I was homeless on the street. I ended up crashing my car, getting evicted from my apartment. And I spent the next year and a half living on the streets, in and out of homeless shelters, sleeping wherever I could, breaking into random buildings to sleep, finding different corners to sleep in. Like when I think back now, it's 9.5 years and it almost feels like a different life. Where I live right now, I don't see too many homeless people. There's not a ton of them. So when I come down to the city, I see a lot more of it and it really brings out those feelings. Because it's a lot of people put a stigma on these people that they want to be there or they could get out of it, but it's a very, very life to break out of. I fortunately was very lucky that I had some family that could help me out and I was able to get out of that lifestyle. But I remember trying to get out and the streets just pulling me back. There was a lot of times where I thought that I was going to die, and you almost get to a point where you're content with dying because the was just so awful. After that, I ended up moving back to Ontario, going to a rehab facility for 6 months and staying sober, getting to that, and then opening up my own gym. And now I got a very successful gym with my wife. We've been in the gym now for just over 6 years. Yeah, we have almost 1,000 members. We have 50 people competing here. Never could have dreamed of running a life around like this, but it was just kind of after the next, and I just put my best foot forward with everything I did. I look back at how I lived my childhood compared to how I live now, and when I look at my childhood, I was always very entitled. Things were owed to me, and don't like that version of myself, and I feel like going through what I did with the drugs and the alcohol was really a humbling experience. It showed me a completely other side of life, and it showed me how quickly things can happen for anybody. Even myself, who grew up in I had a great support system. I had everything for success, but I still found that path and it led me down there. But grateful to have gone through it, because now I'm a completely different person. I look at the world differently. I'm much more grateful for the little things, and it's just opened up a whole new world of it for me. So that's how I built my gym right from the start. I've always believed that people will attract to good energy, and a good coach. You can teach somebody how to move well, you can teach somebody how to run, you can teach them all that, but people want to feel heard, they want to feel valued, and I've always had that energy around my gym, and I think that's what has helped my gym grow so fast, is people want to be around that energy. When they come into my gym, I greet them by their first name. I have personal conversations with them. I know what's going on in their life, and have those good conversations, and I make them feel welcome, I make them feel valued, and I make them feel seen, and they want to come back. So someone coming into the gym for the first time, they're probably nervous, right? They're probably feeling like out of sorts, especially if they've never worked out before. So if they can get that experience and want to come back, it's huge for them. So comparison is these days, especially with social media and everything that's out there. And I'll be the first one to admit that I compare myself all the time on social media, and it brings me to a dark place very fast. So I just believing in yourself and putting your best foot forward and understanding that good things take time. It's going to change overnight. It's not going to change in a month, but little small steps each day will bring you where you need to be if you can dial in that focus and dial in that energy towards where you want to go. So,
let's go, brother.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it. No, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
What's up? HYROX Toronto, day 3. We out here walking to the venue. The weather is so nice. I'm wearing short sleeves right now. Feels so good. As you can hear, my voice still not sounding the greatest, but I feel good. I slept so hard and excited to bring some juice. And with my guys yesterday, I definitely feel like I doubted my message. They really spoke about just how we have this energy inside us, this force, and when it gets bottled up, it can turn into aggression and anger and toxicity. And that HYROX is an opportunity for us to channel that shit in a healthy, positive way. And just, I know this work matters when it comes to men, us to face our shit and not project it out into the world, because just even talking to the HYROX staff in the ticketing office, they deal with so much stress, and the people who are the most rude and the most angry is men. We have to be better. We have to be better, and it starts with us continuing to show up and work on ourselves and understanding that we have work to do. And it sucks because the man, it can easily just wall up, and you hear another man say this, and bam, energy, wall block, F you, bro. Don't tell me how to live my life. I'm not trying to tell anyone, but I do want people to be happy and feel fulfilled. And I do know from an energetic stance, when you're holding on to shit, just from my own experience, that is not fulfillment, that is not love, that is not joy, and that manifests in very dark ways. And if I can do anything in my power to hype some motherfuckers up and remind them who they are before they sit into a HYROX tunnel, I'm gonna do the best of my abilities. All right, I'm here with my man, Romy.
What's good?
The DJ, about to bring the vibe here on day 3. And my only question for you is, what's the vibe that you're bringing today, the 3rd day in Toronto?
I woke up feeling very nostalgic today for some reason. It's day 3, it's my 2nd weekend in a row here, and first time with HYROX. Shout out to Coach Kyle for bringing me on and creating this. But today, I'm gonna bring some nostalgia. I'm gonna get it started with some throwback emo rock bands. Later, we're gonna hit the Katy Perry. We gotta hit the new Taylor Swift album just dropped. I brought glitter today, so I'm gonna be putting on glitter. And a wise past me once said, if you wanna make it, you gotta twinkle while you shake it. So that's the vibe we're bringing.
Go. What's one song that you're looking forward to playing?
Probably Firework by Katy Perry.
Classic. Let's go. Appreciate
Let's
it,
get
brother.
the floor.
Get off there, baby. You might have activated your timing chip, and you know what sucks? It's when you got an extra 20 minutes on your time at the end, and you're like, hey man, no, I ran a 58. It's like, no, we ran a 118. Coach Bry with me, baby. Welcome to the HYROX team. He's gonna get you fired up in the Red Bull start zone. Coach, day 3, tell me about everything that you've seen so far.
I've seen a bunch of athletes willing to step into the arena, not scared, facing their fears, and coming out the other side stronger and better because of it.
Survey says number 2 answer. I've seen big quads. One answer. Here we go.
All right, so this is our high-powered red light, infrared, near-infrared. You get the infrared and near-infrared light spectrum on your skin. It stimulates mitochondrial function, so that gets down to the cellular layer. Helps produce a protein called ATP. ATP is what helps move electricity in the cells, creates water in the cells too. So more electricity, more water, higher cellular function, more recovery, bring down inflammation. As soon as you can do it, right after high intensity exercise, the better you'll get that system started and firing at optimum function. And then you can just get back out there, recover faster, and get back to it.
The future is calling. The future is here now. We're getting charged up. Day 3, HYROX Toronto. Got some red light. I got my blockers, my eyes as well. It's all vibes over here. Doing the best to keep the energy going, keep my voice rolling. The beautiful thing about the start line is that the mic, I don't have to yell as much. Right now I'm yelling because the arena's so loud. With the mic, I can just whisper. HYROX Toronto, day 3, coming to an end. Honestly, when Danielle told me it was my last one, I was like, I didn't know how to think anything than being an MC for this week. I got so consumed by the role and so tired that I feel like I couldn't function outside of that role specifically. I couldn't have a conversation outside of that specific role the last day. So when she was I was like, are you sure I'm done? I couldn't not that. It was a not a go version. I didn't I wanted to continue, but I didn't know how to but we're here. We're done. I don't even know what I just said. It doesn't really make sense, but that's how I'm gonna articulate it right now. Weekend's over. It's a beautiful weekend. I did my best, and any environment I am to make new friends. First day of school vibes. And that starts with the staff. It starts with athletes there, the volunteers. I wanna make an imprint on every single person I come across because so many people in different conversations I had, but even the staff, they work at places that they don't enjoy. We make too many compromises in life with the people that we have around us. And we get to call in the people we have around us by being ourselves. By me being authentically myself this week and by you being authentically yourself out in the world, you're gonna call in the right people. And I know I made new friends. We follow each other on IG now. And man, this is so beautiful. Loving it out here. Toronto, you've been good to me. Good weather. I might have a recap. This might be the end of the YouTube video. I don't know. But without further ado, all I gotta say is stay blessed.